Your word today is palatable. Like your palate in your mouth.
Yes.
Palatable.
Agreeable taste.
Yes. And the,
Was it adjective?
yes, and the definition, agreeable to taste or sensibilities. Despite the unpleasant smell, the exotic cheese was quite palatable. How about, despite the rancid smell, there I just used another word. The exotic cheese was quite palatable.
Look at you getting fancy.
Yeah. I did a little research on our Hitler conversation, and it turns out Olivia was kind of right.
Really?
I actually typed it into Google, and apparently a lot of people have wondered about Hitler's background because it popped right up, and there are tons of articles. And this is from, while you're writing down word of the day, I'll share this with you. This is from Fordham University. It says, was Hitler Jewish? It's a frequently asked question, but it is one that requires clarification to answer correctly. In essence, it encompasses two questions. Did Hitler have Jewish origins or family members, and was Hitler himself Jewish? To begin with the second question, technically, in order to be Jewish, one must be born of a Jewish mother or convert to Judaism. Of course, the Nazis had their own ideas on what made someone a Jew. Hitler was born to a Catholic mother and obviously never converted to Judaism. During his lifetime, he was more or less a lapsed Catholic, so a non-practicing Catholic. At times, dabbling in various German pagan mystic beliefs. Hitler became a racist and anti-Semite, which is someone who's against Jewish people, like Hobby Lobby apparently is now. There's a big article about how they're, I never have liked that store, and now
I always go in there and I get a bad feeling, especially
Oh,
when I'm
I
with
don't
my
like
mom.
it.
About,
I'll get back to that story.
Rude.
But he became a racist and an anti-Semite, and promoting a vision of the Jewish threat. He ultimately sought the extermination of the Jewish population in Europe. As for the question of his Jewish origins, he had a biographer who studied Hitler's whole life and then wrote this. It was a highly acclaimed biography of Hitler. Points out that the belief that Hitler had a Jewish family member began amongst the rumors. A journalist tried to publish about him in the 1920s and 30s. The exact family member in question is Hitler's paternal grandfather, whose exact identity remains unknown to this day. So, his grandfather could have had Jewish, I mean, you know, we all come from somewhere, you know, so who knows? But, so, the general question, was he Jewish? No. It says, the very last line says, ultimately, the answer to the question in both of its forms is a definite no. So the reason lots of people think he was Jewish is journalists have thrown that out there to make it more interesting. Not that the Holocaust wasn't interesting all on its own, but they added that little ironic twist that he killed his own kind, you know. So anyway, so I'm on Facebook yesterday, and there's a story about Hobby Lobby that pops up, and my previous experience with Hobby Lobby has not been good. The biggest thing that they did I didn't like was last year when I ordered all those scrapbooks, and they would not take them back at the store. We had to ship them back. And you know, most of the time when you order stuff online, you can take it back to the actual store and they'll take it back. And they wouldn't. I had to ship them back, and they claim to be a Christian store, and they claim to be very kind. They're closed on Sundays so that their employees have Sunday off. The same kind of philosophy as Chick-fil-A, which Sunday to me would be a big day to make money. That's when, you know,
I was
That's
thinking
like-
about eating a Chick-fil-A on Sunday, I'm like, dang, it's Sunday.
Well, I'm just talking about Hobby Lobby, you know, the weekend is when people don't work, you know, so
It's
they,
the only free time that they have.
free time, but I don't come out, I come out north more now because I work out here, but, and I just usually go to Michael's at Jefferson Point, but so I'm reading this article, and there's a picture of a Hobby Lobby store, and this guy who wrote the article, said that, I guess a customer went into one of the Hobby Lobby stores and asked for where the Hanukkah cards were, or something like that, cause you know, they have all those neat decorations all over the store, and they said, supposedly, the worker said, we don't cater to your kind. And the customer was like, excuse me?
That's so rude.
And so then that prompted this man to investigate more and write this article, and he called corporate headquarters of Hobby Lobby, and he called the manager of that particular store, and he just kept going higher up and higher up, and then he went into the Hobby Lobby in his own hometown, and they didn't have anything either. And the manager said, well, we are a Christian store, meaning, I mean, Judaism is not a Christian religion, so as far as that goes, they would only have Christian things. But, you know, and he said, you know, we don't take responsibility for what that employee said, they shouldn't have said that, if indeed they did say it at all, but it's just interesting. Very interesting.
I experience that like all the time.
Do you really?
Yes, I do. All the time. I get like whenever the Hanukkah stuff that's like out at Target and like my mom and I are looking at it, we get the most dirtiest looks from people. Because
Target
they're just,
is
like,
owned by Jewish people.
I know, no, like not like the employees, but just like people walking around.
Oh.
So I'm like constantly judged by people
Huh.
all the time. And
It's one of the few stores where I've even seen
yeah.
Hanukkah stuff.
I think
Nowhere
it's
else.
just because
So-
America has somehow gotten this stamp that it's like Catholic or Christian, and so it's like everybody's like
No,
supposed to be.
no. Catholics are Christians.
Well, yeah, and just that new type of religion.
You mean Christian or non-Christian, is what you mean, yeah.
So it's like, I feel like that's why they would like think that it's like, oh.
Well,
they
what's
don't
interesting to
really-
me is that Jesus was a Jew. So I don't understand why there's such a hate of,
I don't understand.
I don't get it. But anyway, that's what was in the news lately. So, are you ready for your quiz?
Alright, do we have a word today for the moment?
I can give it to you today, or we can
We
do,
won't
oh,
be
you will
here
be here
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Let me go ahead and give it to you today then. What do I want to? Have I given you garrulous? That's what I want.
Oh wait, yeah, you did last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
We talked about Skylar.
Oh,
I remember.
I didn't talk about Skylar.
Okay. Whatever you say. Oh wait, can I just rid of it?
I was gonna say, it's a quick second.
So many C's. And A's.
Yeah.
I used Zenith already, didn't I?
Wait, try really fast.
Are you just such a cute word?
Let's do Vaucus.
What? That's not one of our words.
Oh,
Vaucus.
I thought you were saying with a B.
You
Yeah,
said-
there would.
Like the definition, not the
And it means lack of content or ideas or stupid. Beyonce realized that the lyrics she had just penned were completely Vaucus and tried to add more substance.
I'm
It's
glad that
funny.
she realized
The
that.
sentence they use is so current. I know you heard the word vacant, like empty, so maybe you can make that connection, like empty of ideas.
So could you say someone is vacuous?
Mhm. You certainly could. I think there are probably a lot of raucous people out there walking around, actually, unfortunately.
Oh, I thought you meant like in the school, like out there.
No.
Everyone at this girl is raucous. I was like, okay then. It sounds like.
It's like, yeah, it does.
Raucous.
Like, you're the one who's educating us. Where's that beer?
Why? Oh. That might explain it. Yeah. Expressionless, showing absence of thought or intelligence, empty. Nothing going on up here.
It's a mean word.
Yeah,
Like, if someone tells you that you're not.
it's not a compliment.
No.
Like, Neanderthal.
It's very like, it's like almost like you're trying to be polite, but you're not because you're using a big word.
Yeah, because most people, yeah, a lot of people wouldn't know what it
They were
meant, so
like,
if you called them
huh?
that, they'd be like,
What are you
confused.
saying?
What does that mean? Gingerbread.
gingerbread. Yeah, you only had 24 words this week.
You'd be like, what?
We didn't have a Y word.
Yeah, no Y word.
No Y.
And next week you're gonna run out of some other letters too, so
Like G, or J.
it'll get shorter. K. I think the K's are
Yeah,
down.
okay.
What are you doing?
Just trying to show my sentence.
Lauren writes about her.
That's funny. Oh, I
She
know. I did it.
does.
Oh, I did it all
She
last
used
year.
to,
Believe
she used to
us.
like say it out loud. She used to,
And when I would read them, I would sometimes make comments or
we would chuckle.
get a chuckle. Yeah. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take your early days if you want.
Oh,
Thank you. Except that needs a name, miss.
Oh. Oops.
That's in my folder.
You can get to me later. Thanks. You want to quiz us? Well, you may not want them, but.